Hi there everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be going over a new experimental deck list I'm running for the OP07 leader Vegapunk. So if you watched my video the other day of opening the 07 bots, actually pulled the alt leader, so I'm very happy about that. And this leader is one of my favorites in the game, just as his effect. He's a 5k power leader, which is normal, he can't attack, so okay, what are they gonna do for him? He is mono yellow, and then he has 2 life, which is the lowest life in the game. So when I first read this card, I was like, why does he have such low life? What is his effect to make that happen? And then he has an activate main once per turn. We can rest 1 Dawn, select an 8-head type card with a cost of 5 or less from our hand, and we can either play it or add it to the top of our life face up. And that is why he is one of the best leaders. I think that one of the best just generic effects, if we're being honest, just because while it does have to be an 8-head type card, just being able to play a card for free or heal 1 every turn just for 1 Dawn is insane. And so right now, with the release of OP010, I am trying a Supernova-ish heal kind of deck. So here, let's start going over. I'm going to start with the 8-head engine. This is the main deck that works with the Vegapunk leader. So one of our most important cards, we run 4 Shaka. Here we are. He's a 5-toss, 6k power blocker, 1k counter, and then just a trigger to play him if our leader's Vegapunk. So it doesn't do anything too flashy, but again, if we're going first, we can just pay 1 to cheat him out. We have a 6k block for the rest of the game. You know, if we want to get his trigger instead, we can just pay 1 to put him into life. And he just comes up in so many different scenarios, and he's definitely, like, one of the most important cards in this deck. Then after that, we have Atlas. I also run 4 of this one. Let's see, another very important card in the deck is a 5-toss, 6k power, 1k counter. And then it just has, if you have less life cards than your opponent, you can't be tailed in battle, and then a trigger if we just Vegapunk to play him. All the kind of Vegapunk drones have that effect to play themselves, and that is also very good card, especially as we start at 2 life. Then we can play him out on our 1 Dawn turn, go to our 3 Dawn turn, attack with him, and then our opponent just can't kill him in battle, and it's very hard to find removal on 4 Dawn for a 5-toss body like Atlas, so it's just a very good card to keep on putting on pressure. See, and then after that, we have our 5-toss Nami right here. It's from OP08. Here we are. Let's see. So it's 5-toss, 1k counter, 5k power. Has an on play, which is kind of different from these two. Has on play, you can trash a card with a trigger from our hand. KO up to one of our opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less, and then if we have 3 or less cards in our hand, we draw a card. And then it has a trigger to just activate the on-play effect. So obviously you don't have to play it, but that does kind of get around, you know, some debts and stuff, so it is very nice. Big thing with this card is you want to play it if your hand is at 5 cards. Because if you're at 5, you go down to 4 when you play it, you go down to 3 when you use its ability to trash card, and then since you're at 3, you draw a card back up to 4. So 5 cards in hand is like the most cards in hand while still achieving its effect, which is a very good thing. Here, I'll move some of these out of the way. And so yeah, this is, obviously you don't really want to cheat this out on your turn 1 or something like you can do with Shaka and Atlas, though it is a great card later on in the game. So, and then after that, we have Pythagoras. I'm only running Pythagoras at 2. I'm debating going up on him at 4. I was up on him before I added the Supernovas up, but just as his effect needs an 8-head, which I'll read in a minute, I thought taking him down to 2 since I took out a few 8-heads were better. So he's 5-toss, 6k power, 1k counter. On KO, if we have 2 or less life cards, which normally we do with Vegapunk, we can play an 8-head character with a cost of 4 or less from our trash rested, and then he has the normal drone if our leader's Vegapunk play this card ability. So he is very good. Obviously, something fun we can do is with the Nami, discard one of the other 8-head people with a cost 4 or less, than just, you know, gem out later. Though, as you see, most of our 8-heads are 5 or higher, so we don't have too many targets for him. Now that we can just run it 2. I also do not currently have any of the 5-toss to Rocket Luffy's, the ones that are very popular in Black Yellow Luffy. I do need to get some. I have them in the mail on the way, but so imagine when they get here, I'll probably swap Pythagoras for them and do some other deck building changes. See, and then after that, we have Edison. We do run Edison at 4. He is one of the better cards in the deck, as he is a searchable 2k counter, which is always what we want to see. He's a 4-toss, 5k power, so, you know, we can bring him back with Pythagoras if we need to later in the game. Then he has on play, if we have 2 or less life cards, we draw 2, then trash 2. So obviously not the greatest effect, but it is very good. Like, later game, if we just need a buy, then need some filtering in hand to find bid drops. We can play him out for 1 Dawn with lead ability and, get those draws. And also he's just a 2-pay counter with the A-Ted type, so Pythagoras can bring him out, or our Searcher, which we will get to in a minute, can search him. So then after that, we have Frankie. See, if you've played any yellow deck, you've probably seen this Frankie around. He is just a generically good yellow card. So he's a 4K, 5K power, and then 2K counter. A as a vanilla, as you see, but he does have the trigger to draw a card. Then if we have 1 or less life, we play him. So, this leader starting at 2 life, it's very easy to do. Say if someone takes our life, we can spend a turn by paying 1 with his ability, putting this Frankie into our life. Then when our opponent takes nets, we can use his trigger to draw 1 and then just play him for free. So it's just a very nice trigger, keeps our hand not really full, as doesn't go up any card advantage, but it stays the same as we'd be discarding him, playing him, and then drawing a card. So it is a very nice one. Also can cheat out with the Pythagoras late game if we need to. And as you've seen, pretty much all of these 8-hit cards have had triggers, so all of them kind of worked with the Nami, which is very great. Then after that, we are finally at the Searcher. It is Lilith. It is our first card without counter in the deck. Once we get out of the 8-head engine, we'll see more cards without counter. But we do run this one at 4. So even though she doesn't have counter, she's a 3-cost 5K counter, 5K power, and then on play, look at the top 5 cards from our deck, reveal up to 1 8-head type card other than Lilith, add it to our hand, then place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order, and then it has the Furlier's Vegapunk plays card. That's just a good search, You might be like, why is the Searcher a 3-cost? But, we could play it out for just 1 Dawn with our lead. What I've seen was really good is if we go second, so first turn we're at 2 Dawn, we can play anything out with our lead ability. But on our 4 Dawn turn, we can pay 3 for Lilith and then pay 1 for our lead ability. Basically just cheating in 2 bid bodies and then attacking with them next turn, and it just helps put a lot of pressure on. Then this next card, I used to run it 3 copies. Right now I run it 2. Again, has the Supernova engine, but I retways our help. It's a 1-cost event, one of just the stronger events that we have right now. It has a counter if we have 2 or less life cards, which with lead we almost always do. Up to 1 of our leader characters gains plus 3,000 power this battle, but the most important thing is it has the trigger to play a 5 or less 8-head character from our trash. And then, since our leader can put any 8-head card into our life, we can heal this if we ever need to. If we just want that trigger more than counter, just heal them. And if you see, a lot of these cards need us to be at 2 or less life, which is something I try and do. I only try and use the leader ability to heal if we really need it at the time or something. But in some matches you just want to heal every single turn, and that's acceptable. No one's going to tell you how to play the deck. But so this is the 8-head engine, the big core of the deck. And then here, let's get into just the other stuff I've been trying out. Now this stuff is the experimental part of the deck I've been talking about. It took out some stuff like more Irie Twazer helps and the Pythagoras, and then some other 8-head cards to try them. So let's see, we have first 4 of the 9-cost Yamatos. At first when I picked up this deck, I wasn't playing this card, but I realized just some funny things you can do with this. So normally I'm never using this card to KO. It is a heal only, because late game, like on our 10 Dawn turn, we can spend 9 to play Yamato, maybe not KO anything, maybe just KO a Searcher, easy. We heal 1, then we use our lead to heal another one. Does put us at 3 life if we're at 1, or puts us at 2 if we're at 0. So it's just a way that we can spend 10 Dawn to heal 2, which is very good. It's why I'm not playing any of the 10 drop Ace right now. Just as that card is good, it has rush and it heals, but I like just TPing at 9 or below, so we can use the lead ability every turn if we would like to. After that, I'm trying out 1 of the 8-cost Katakuri. I'm only playing 1 of this right now. Main reason, I don't own anymore, but second reason, it just doesn't really fit with anything. A lot of our high-end and this whole stack cards right here are full of Supernovas and stuff to combo with that. The Yamatos are good, we can double heal with it, and then we could double heal with this Katakuri, though normally it's a removal piece. And just right now, I think with some decks, the Katakuri just isn't the best into them right now. Like, Shanks and Blackbeard drop a bunch of high 10 costs, and since we don't have any way to lower costs in this deck, this doesn't really do anything against them. Katakuri is good against the Bonnie matchup with that 8-cost kid. It is he is my favorite card to see in that matchup. It is the best way to get rid of that kid. But apart from that, I just find the main meta decks right now, Katakuri isn't the best against them. But then after that, now we get into the Supernova engine of the deck. We have 2 of this 8-cost Oasis Captain Kid. He is an 8-cost 9k power. On play, you can rest him to trash 1 card from the top of your opponent's life card. So no restrictions on that. Just great endgame card. Just, for 8, get rid of 1 of your opponent's Dawn. Then we can use Vegapunk's leader ability to either heal 1 ourselves or just play a character. So, just great tempo late game. And then he also has the end of our turn. If we have 2 or less life cards, we draw 1, trash 1. I have debated going up 1 more copy of this, but I think since it doesn't have counter and we will run a lot of cards without counter in this deck, it's good just to have it 2. Then after that, let's see, we have some 7-cost Trafalgar Law Secrets from OPO10. Doing 4 of them right now. I can see going down some just as you don't need to see multiple over a set of a game. And then, so if you don't know what this card does, because it is new, it's 7-cost 9k power. Then on play, we reveal up to 1 Supernova type character card from our hand, add it to the top of our life. Then we give up to 1 Rested on to 1 of our Supernova type leaders. So we're never getting that second part of the effect. We are trying to get that first part of the effect often though, and that is why I'm testing this Supernovas out right now. Just as this is a way for on 7 we can heal 2. Or on 8 we can heal 2. As we 7 for Law, heal 1, then use 1 on our lead to heal another one. It means that if we go second, we have, instead of just playing a Tata Curry, like I might play more in the past just to remove stuff, we can heal 2, get a 9k body on the field, and in my opinion just advance our game much better. And so here are the Supernova cards I am running. Obviously we don't have too many yellow Supernovas right now. I'm running 4 of the X-Straight, mainly because it's a 2k counter. Like, that's honestly the main reason. It could be good, we can activate main to rest him if the number of life cards are equal or less than our opponents, which are normally going to happen with a Vegapunk. We can rest up to 1 of our opponent's characters with a toss 4 or less. This can get around blockers if we're trying to go for lethal and have some late game stuff, but mainly is a 2k counter that later in the game we can heal with our Law if we need to, and then when we take the life, we know it's a 2k, which is great. Let's see. Other than that, I'm running 3 of these Zoros right here. So it doesn't have any counter, which does suck. You see we have a lot of cards without counter. And also his trigger doesn't work because our leader doesn't have Supernova type, but he has the, not even on play, just if we have less life than our opponent, this character gains a rush. This is a great early game card. Mainly because of facing against Blackbeard, he negates on plays, which sucks a lot for this. I saw most of the A-10 cards did have on play, but also since we're a 2-life leader, if we play this on 3, say if we're going first on or second on turn, we can play him out, attack with him, and then if we played like Atlas or something with Vegapunk turn 1, attack with them as well. Or if we're going second, turn 1 on 2 Dawn, we can cheat someone out with Vegapunk ability. And then turn 2, we can cheat another person out and play the Zoro and attack. And the tempo that just having a 5k rush on 3 gives us is insane. I do wish he had counter. I wish his trigger would work, but can't ask for too much. And then we have the best thing to put into life with the 7-cost Law. It is 4 of these Basil Hawkins. So it's a 4-cost, 1k counter, 5k power. On KO, your opponent trashes 1 card from their life. Just honestly, generically great effect right there. As if we just play him and start attacking with him, our opponent really has a hard choice of if they kill him, then they lose a life. So really only blue debts with Grav Blade or Red Rock can really get around this easily. Then the main thing is the trigger to just draw 2, then trash 1. So we could heal him with the Law, and then just we know he's up there in the life, so we can let our opponent take it just at the draw 2. And then, so why I'm kind of experimenting with the Supernovas right now is I don't really know how many to run, because on the Laws, I'm running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm running 18 Supernovas, which is a good package. I feel like a good size, mainly because our deck does want to focus on these A-heads, using lead ability to either cheat out a body every turn or heal 1, just as of how honestly amazing this lead effect is. Then late game, honestly, if I'm at 10 Dawn, instead of doing a Law, sometimes I'd rather just do Yamato for a low enough life, just because healing 2 and getting that Yamato out of my hand is great, because the Yamato doesn't need to get rid of a card in my hand like the Slaw does. Because while the Slaw does heal 1, he heals 1 from your hand. So you're going -2 in hand to get that heal, which, again, healing is always great, but, you know, could be better. And so that is my main deck on Vegapunk right now. Again, very experimental. I've been taking cards in and out of there for days trying them out, but here, I'll give you guys some insight on some other cards I'm trying. So for the Supernova package, when I first had it in, I tested out this card at 4. It's the 1-toss Searcher Luffy. Then came out OPO 10 with the rest of the yellow Supernovas, just 1 toss, 2K counter, 1K counter. And then on play, look at the top 5 cards from your deck. Reveal up to 1 Supernova type card other than Monty D. Luffy. At your hand, then place the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order. I found that I just didn't have enough Supernovas when I ran him. Like, I would do the search, and then I'd just hit 8 heads or something. Maybe I hit a Supernova I didn't need, and then I'd have like 2 7-toss Laws in my hand, and then early game I just ran out of counter potential. And I feel like there is a way to make this deck work, the Supernova build, where you just go maybe half Supernova, half 8-head, and you take out the cards like the 8-toss Tadaturi and the 9 Yamatos. Though right now, I love the ability to heal 2 with that, not going down any in hand, and I don't want to go down the 8-head engine at all. In fact, I'm debated going up in 8 heads. So just running more Supernovas, while it does make the Law itself better, I don't think it makes the deck better in the consistency. So, but, you know, if you want to try that out, be my guest. I do hear, you know, it can work, it depends on how many Supernovas you are. Another thing, just a common yellow thing, is a 2-toss Kozuki Hiyori, 0 power, but 2K counter. Then on play, we can take 1 of our life, either the top or bottom, which for Vegapunk, that's all of our life. And then we can add 1 card from our hand to the top of our life. Normally this is a staple in every yellow deck. With Vegapunk, it's a bit different. Yes, we have a lot of triggers, but just with his ability to heal 1 from our hand every turn, we don't really need the card touch with this. A cool thing I can see with this, though, is, say, if we're early game, we don't have a 7-toss flower, we just don't find him, we could use Hiyori to put a Hawkins in life to get that trigger. Or if we want to, you know, get rid of the Supernovas and play just more generically good triggers, like the Beige, that has the trigger that will stop one of your opponent's players or characters from attacking. Maybe the Onami, which I've seen in some builds, Rocket Luffy. So this card is very good. I think in my build, it just kind of fits out of place. It's not searchable by any of my 2 engines. It adds more cards that aren't Supernovas or 8 heads, which is really hard, as I need to run a certain amount of both to get lead ability every turn I need it, and also fit that 7-toss slot at the end of the game. And so I just trying to only run cards that have those 2 types because of how important they are. Some other cards I've been trying. This one right here is mainly a budget card, not gonna lie. It just says, I know even after the reprint, the Tadaturi is cheap right now, though it's not the cheapest. It is around $6 to $7. But here, these 3 Nito Robins is the 8-head type, so it works with the lead ability. It's a 3-toss, 1K counter, 4K power. The power does suck, just as since it's 4K, you can't swing into pretty much every leader without attaching it on. And it's a vanilla, though, like the Frankie, has a pretty nice trigger just to draw 2 cards so leader has the 8-head type, which he does. And so Nito Robin, she's a decent card. You know, you can just use lead ability, paying 1, put her into life, and then just know you want to take that trigger to draw 2. Just drawing 2 is great, you know, better than the Hawkins or anything like that, where triggers like this have us draw 2, then trash 1. And so I've seen, you know, some builds playing it. I used to play it when I just did pure 8-head, you know, wanted to have as many names in there as possible and just card draw, card draw, card draw. That is also back when I was running the 3-toss Jewelry Bonnie. I don't have them with me right now to show you guys, but if you do want to test them out, to 3-tossed SR from OPO7. It's 4K power as well, really similar to this Nito Robin. Though it has, and it also has a trigger to play itself, I believe, or maybe to draw 2, trash 1. That does kind of sound like it. But its main thing is if it has 1 Dawn attached, when your opponent loses life during your turn, we draw 2 and trash 1. So, you know, just, it is a great card, though I feel like having to attach on with it, and then also having to find a way to take one of our opponent's life, either if that's attacking with it or just attacking with bigger stuff in general, was too much of an investment in my opinion. And again, with the Supernovas, I needed to cut some cards. That was one of the cards in my chopping block. Again, if you're doing more Egghead and less Supernova, I'd run more Retrace or Help. It is a great card. You know, just that trigger, and even just 1-toss 3K counter, you know, it's nothing to stop at, really. And so that is my Vegapunk deck list. Again, fully experimental. I've played it a bunch over the past few days, in person and on the sim. I've gotten mixed reviews of it. I do really like the late game of the deck, being able to heal to almost every turn, just with cards like the Katakuri, the, let's see, I'm trying to find them, the Law, the Yamato, or the Katakuri, just being great heal cards. Early game, we have the Pythagoras, the Atlas swing for 6. We have the Nami mid game to kind of KO stuff. Then we have the Shaka early, mid, or late, just straight cards. So I do think this leader is one of the best, if not my... I think it's definitely my favorite yellow leader. I think right now, sadly, the mono yellow kid from OPO 10 does outshine it in how good it is. Though I will say, I think when EBO 2 comes out and this deck's the new Vegapunk card, it will boost this deck to being better than that yellow kid in some matchups. Obviously, that yellow kid just generically has a better effect and has access to more cards, has 5 life, can attack. So there's a lot of more upsides for him, but I think just the lead ability of this Vegapunk leader is nothing to scoff at. And there we are. Hope we all have a great rest of your night. Please make sure to like, comment if you have any questions about the deck. If you're also playing Vegapunk, I'd love to hear if you're trying the Supernova engine, how it's working for you, what your ratios are with cards, and hope you all have a great rest of your night.